All right, good morning. Today is Monday, March 9th, 2026 at 10 a.m. The MPO Technical Advisory Committee is called to order. Do we have anyone joining virtually?
Yeah.
That's great. Now I will ask Kelly. That's what it's. Oh, now I'll ask Kelly to confirm the quorum. Kelly is a quorum present.
Yes, quorum is present.
All right. All right, let us all stand and recite the pledge for allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will now open the meeting for public comment, including comments on any agenda items. On the screen, you can see three ways for the public to provide input to the TAC. All comments received will be shared with the committee members and made a part of the public record. Kelly, do we have any public comment cards received?
No, we have not received any public comments.
And now time for agenda item number 4, approval of minutes for the Technical Advisory Committee meeting from January 12th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the January meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, please by indicating saying aye.
Aye.
All seems like it was unanimous, so, all right. Motion is passed. Okay, we're moving just along. We're gonna be out of here early, guys. So. I'm making this, we're gonna be out early. All right, next is item 5B, the 2026 project priorities. Nina Venter, MPO, will present this item.
I'm gonna go with 5A first.
Yeah, sip a moment.
Oh, see, I told you we didn't out here early. All right, action items on the agenda. First is 5A, Transportation Improvement Program, TIP amendments. FDOT staff will present this item.
Christy Smith here, this item. I don't have any presentations about. I won't have any questions.
We're gonna discuss the items specifically to.
Transit project and State Road 72 from east of I-75 to east of Proctor. An addition of $2 million in federal funding for PD&E for design.
All right, is that it? Okay. I'll now entertain a motion to recommend MPO's board approval of Transportation Improvement Program amendments. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Hearing no nays, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, now back to item 5. You see, Joe just doesn't know what that would be. Jeez. All right, so go ahead, Nina.
Thank you. Should be a fairly quick item as well. This item came to you all in January for your review. The draft that I sent out on Thursday or Friday of last week is the most updated version. And that should include any of the updates that MPO staff have discussed with the Technical Advisory Committee members. So all updates should have been included in this draft that you received. We did include an additional appendix, which is a bit different from what we reviewed in January, and that is just so that you all are prepared to pursue Suntrail funding if and when the call for funding opens up at the end of the year. So this is just a prioritized list of any of the projects on the Harrison Field Network. Other than that, it was just project level changes and a removal of the project. So unless there are any additional changes to this draft list, this will go to the MPO board for adoption in March. And then we'll continue to make any amendments or modifications to the list as needed throughout the year. But if you all recommend MPO board approval, this will go to the board. And this list, along with all the applications, will be submitted to FDOT staff at the end of the month. That's really all I know.
All right. Well, now I entertain a motion to recommend board approval of the 2026 project priorities. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Is that
Second.
okay? Alyssa, okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait, there was no, we didn't do any discussion. I had any discussion.
A little bit
All
later.
right, all right, we're moving as good. I did not hear the voice. Everybody saying that.
Really is gonna end.
Motion passed. Now we're at presentations. Next is presentation, starting with 6A, the FDOT report, FDOT staff will report.
The only thing I really have is, the legislative session is supposed to wrap up at the end of the week, and we should know more about the member projects that have been requested from this jurisdiction. Additionally, the deadline for submission of applications into GAP is at the end of March. If you have any questions or need assistance with that or anything else, just let me know.
What kinds of things go into GAP?
Road safety, congestion management, TA, Scott, films.
So basically all the
All of
project
them.
priority types.
Correct.
Mhm. I think if they go into a specific funding program, they should be uploaded to GAP by the jurisdiction. Resubmitted to FDOT directly, just in case, but they're going in and doing it.
Thank you. And we're at 6B. Thank you. Under reports at 6BI, draft. NPO report. NPO planning staff.
Yeah, we wanted to just take an opportunity to provide a quick update on all the planning studies that we've kicked off over the last few months. Either end of last year and kicked off in the beginning of this year. We are taking some of this to the board over the course of the year. But just wanted to give you a quick update because we've been busy, to say the least. So I'll start off with advancing organizational safety culture. The purpose of this study is to develop a shared vision and expectations for safety in the organization, embed safety as a core value in our organizational processes and everyday decisions. So while we feel like we have a pretty strong foundation for planning and programming, something that we are always continuing to improve, we wanted to take this opportunity to really take a look at the organization itself to make sure that in the day-to-day, safety is being prioritized so it carries through in the projects that we are programming and through the delivery. So the final deliverable that there would be a strategic safety improvement plan. We're hoping to have this wrapped up by June and we'll present it to the board in May. Currently, we're working on finalizing the organizational assessment, and the next milestone is the implementation framework for that strategic plan. As part of that implementation framework, we are asking our stakeholders to join us for a stakeholder workshop here at the office on March 25th. So everybody on the TAC, all of our committees, the Destination Zero Advisory Group or CTST has received this invitation to participate. So we would love it if you all can join us here to have this conversation about what is our shared vision for safety within the organization, What are our strategic actions? How do we prioritize them? And then also defining and prioritizing the roles and responsibilities of everybody in this room. So we think about the MPO as an organization, our relationships with our partners and stakeholders are really essential and key to developing that safety culture as well. So that's on March 25th. I'll send a reminder email today. We did send out a short, I think, 7 to 9 question survey, and that will kind of help inform the conversation on March 25th. So we hope to see you there. And then we'll provide a next update on this on May 11th. Before I move on to the next one, are there any questions from the group? All right. We also kicked off our prioritization process update. This is something that we do every few years. So the goal here is just to review and update our prioritization process, including the scoring criteria, network facility designations, and then also look at exploring an integration of the web tool with our new platform called Eco Interactive. So the final deliverable will be the updated prioritization process and a new user guide that will go live at the end of September for the next call for projects. Our current milestone is we're doing a peer review to see what other MPOs are doing with their prioritization. We'd then like to bring that back to our stakeholders to see in terms of scoring and weighting on what might work for this MPO. So our next milestone is to do stakeholder interviews with those of you who are involved in the prioritization process. And so that might be the folks here in this room, or that might be staff behind the scenes who are actually developing the applications and submitting them to the MPO. I say interview, that sounds very formal, but really this is more of a discussion, right? We want to know what is working well, what has not been working well, where are the sticking points, really how can we improve this process so that it's easier for you all in the long run to facilitate submitting strong and eligible project applications. So we'll begin reaching out probably this month and next month to do those interviews with you all. So like I said, that might be you or that might be somebody else on your team that needs to be looped in on those conversations as well. We will be having a conversation with FDOT staff as well, because we want to know what this process looks like on their end when they get the list from us, when they get the project application, how is this material used? And we'd like to be able to take that information into the conversations with you all so that in the long run, we have strong applications that sort of lead to a quick and easy delivery of projects. And so we'll use that then to inform the update. And then at the end of May or early June, we'll have a workshop, which is usually something that we do with this update to review revisions to the scoring criteria, the weighting and the network applications. And then given that feedback, we'll finalize it and then implement the update. So new business as usual with the prioritization update, but we wanted to have a little bit more engagement from you all to see what's working, what isn't working. Questions on that one before we move on? Yes.
Will there be sort of a workshop after you collect all the information and start to like make changes and sort of like see what those changes look like, almost like a practical?
We won't have another formal workshop, but we can certainly bring that back to the TAC and sort of provide a comprehensive presentation of what the changes look like, so we can plan to it. Okay. Yeah. All right. And I will hand it over to Nick.
Nick Hughley, Sarasota Manatee MPO. Just as a quick overview of the regional freight analysis, it's a study that we're undertaking that first inventories the existing conditions and infrastructure of our regional freight network, and the goal of it is to develop recommendations that support regional freight movement. The final deliverables include a comprehensive analysis report, as well as better understanding and inventory of freight infrastructure, as well as existing and emerging activity centers, and as well as project recommendations. The current milestone, we're still inventorying all the existing freight infrastructure inventory, as well as looking specifically right now at truck parking and emerging freight activity centers. And the next milestone is going to be kind of digging deeper into those freight activity centers and looking at first and last mile connectivity, as well as what kind of things are being moved through and originating, being shipped to those areas. As far as upcoming, events and asks, we're just, as an ongoing thing, we're looking for input from regional freight actors as well as, our local jurisdictions, for current plans and potentially interviews. And similar to what Nina said, it's not very formal, it'll just be a quick call. We're looking for about 10 to 12 people total. And we're looking to just interview both on the public sector as well as private sector, like for example, Tropicana or some of the big public, some of the big freight movers in the area. So if any of you all have done great studies and work or have any specific feedback or would like to, anything to be considered and incorporated into the study, please let me know. Either by email or catch me after the meeting. And that's going to be ongoing throughout a lot of the projects. We're looking at April to December for these interviews and stakeholder engagement. And yeah, we'll have an update for the next committee meeting as well. With that, is there any questions?
I'll give an update of the wording bit of the asset analysis. So this project is to identify and assess the transportation infrastructure that is vulnerable to storm surge and floods and flooding. So we were trying to support the resiliency and reliable transportation infrastructure. We'll try to reduce the risk and enhance the coordination with some partners. Right now, we are at the stage of data collection and flood modeling analysis stage. And next stage, we're going to do a asset analysis. So we project to have the project timeline from it's gonna last for roughly 12 months. We started from January this year, and we will try to get it down by January next year. And the final deliverable is gonna be resilience dashboard and probably a lot with a final report of the project. One example. So we have already kicked off our stakeholder interview last week. We have been doing, we've been trying to identify the best available data and models to serve as a comprehensive analysis to conduct the framework analyze. We have also, so we've been like interviewing our partners from departments like stormwater and wastewater, resiliency, and been trying to collect the feedback and those questions. And roughly from end of April and early May, we'll conduct a more of a community engagement interview. So we'll give an update in our next community meeting. Roughly, oh, it's at May 11th. Cool. So the next project I'm gonna update is the regional transit feasibility study. This is to understand the existing transit service and evaluate the transit operations and collaborate with our partners to create a plan that address regional transit needs. Right now, we're doing an implementation plan. So the final deliverable is we're gonna provide an implementation plan with responsibility matrix, and we're also gonna provide a final report. So this project's gonna take a little longer. We've already kicked off the project last month from February, and we estimate this project's gonna last for 18 months. So it's gonna be, we project the project to end at July 2027, but we'll see what's going on. So we'll keep you guys updated. Right now, we're doing an assessment of existing transit need. Our consultant's been doing a very comprehensive review of the reports that's like transit related. And next milestone is we are going to define the regional transit needs. We'll provide a memo.
we have conducted meeting last week, trying to brainstorm the question that we want to interview our stakeholders. So we're trying to get it launched roughly at the end of this month. And start with end of May, we're going to do a very comprehensive interview to the community. We'll give you an update on the next meeting at May 11th. Any question?
Next time, the NPO report is item 6. What?
I don't remember seeing this information in the packet. Can that slide deck be sent to us?
Certainly, yeah.
Help.
Yeah, that's an add-on.
All right. That's all.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, we snuck it in there.
Okay. All right, so next up is the item 6B. Draft joint transportation regional incentive program, last month's trip, project priority list,
Thank you. So this is a draft list that we're making available for review. And it will come back to the committees in May for board adoption, to recommend board adoption. This list is generated through the project prioritization process. So any project that is pursuing TRIP funding, which is a statewide funding program, it is required that we coordinate with both Charlotte County, Punta Gorda MPO, as well as Polk TPO to put this list together. So it's required that there be this multi-jurisdictional cooperation to define these regionally significant roadway and transit improvement projects. So in your packet, this is a draft list. We are asking our local agencies to review the list, make sure that the correct projects are on the list, it's the correct funding amounts that are being requested. And then we will also take the next month to work with Charlotte County, Punta Gorda MPO and Polk TPO to refine the list, and we'll send an update to you before the next committee meeting. I do want to note that Polk TPO has a little bit of a different timeline on their prioritization, and so the projects on this list is continued over from last year, and so the projects that they have on this list might change. But the order in which they are listed between Sarasota, Polk, and Manatee will not be changing. So with that, I'll take any questions on the funding program. I'll take any questions on projects. But other than that, we're just asking for a close review for May.
Then we're going around the table.
I'm good, I don't have any.
I wanted to share a letter from a resident because we get a lot of these daily, but I just felt like I wanted to share this one. It says, "Dear Mr. Tipton," who's our town manager, "in every survey I've completed, traffic is always the #1 issue, not so much on the key itself, but getting off and on the key. In the last survey, I noted the issue is really a regional issue, and it is a subject I've never discussed or referenced. Everyone is excited about the new Cortez Bridge." Promise this isn't that one. "And in of itself, it is a good move, but unless there are changes made, all its perceived advantages will be for naught. It will be able to move more traffic over the bridge, but nowhere to send it. Unless the community of Bradenton Beach does something positive to move traffic away from the intersection of Gulf Drive and Cortez, the real problem will remain, and $130 million will be spent with no real change. I am sure you are aware of the new development, Seaflower at 75th and Cortez. As it fills up, it will bring a ton more people and cars to the area, as many of them will want to go to the beach, exacerbating the current issues. I spent 22 years as an elected trustee in Ohio and dealt with many traffic issues, so I'm familiar with this problem and how to solve it. Here are some of my ideas. The Bridge Street roundabout must be eliminated. I don't care how cute it is. And I'm sure 30+ years ago it was a landmark, but now it's a huge problem. Many curb cuts must either be eliminated or combined, going at least 100 feet north and south of the intersection. And 3, pedestrian crossings must be eliminated at the site and moved at least 50 feet north and south. Get into the end.
I don't know if you've been to Las Vegas, but they moved most of their pedestrian traffic up and eliminated street access. That's certainly more drastic, and I'm not suggesting it, but you need to think outside the box in resolving and minimizing the many interruptions to traffic flow. Along southbound Gulf Drive, the same thing needs to happen at beach level. Now cars are pulling in and out constantly, sometimes backing into the southbound lane. All of these issues affect both north and southbound getting to the end. As you are aware, State Road 789, Gulf Drive and Gulf of Mexico Drive is used constantly by many people and businesses to get to Bradenton, Sarasota, and Sarasota to Bradenton. Since it is a state road open to the public, the only way I can think to minimize this additional traffic burden is to make it a toll road. Anna Maria and south, including LBK residents, would pay nothing, but all else would pay a hefty toll. I'm not sure this is even plausible, but a thought no less. Something needs to be done, so outside the box thinking needs to happen. Sincerely, yeah. But we get a lot of these, and this one is particular going north, but we also get the same kind of comments going south. And I just felt like I should share some of it. That's it.
For the city of Sarasota, Albie Marie was promoted to the capital projects manager, so she's turned into the alternate. I was promoted to the chief transportation planner, so I'll be the representative for the TAC. We will be opening up the position for a transportation planner or a senior transportation planner soon, so we can fill out the transportation planning division. On the same note, the city of Sarasota hosted a St. Armand visioning, and I thought it would be of interest for everyone that an old idea came back of third bridge to Longboat Key, barrier island traffic study trauma coming right back up. But so there's some ideas that are getting thrown out, at least how to get some pedestrian channelization on the circle, as well as some efficiency with traffic flow. That was a big thing, I think, that people wanted to see, other than the flooding. That was number one. But that's all I have.
Elisa Thomas here. So we will also be opening up at a position for assistant city engineer, which is my current role. So my last day with the city will be March 20th. I've accepted a role with ITE, the Institute of Transportation Engineers, as their program director for safety.
For Brayhorn, actually, I guess I'm with the technically ITPO, with Palm Beach. Don't really have much for the group today.
Hammer Shells with Breeze Transit. Just an update on the FDOT pilot study of the transit signal prioritization on US 41. We finally have the TSP, the TSP activated on 6 of our buses. That will be on Route 99, which is on US 41 between Sarasota and Bradenton. And that is a 2-year pilot study. So like I said, it was a long time coming and getting to this point. But so we'll be in a position now where we can start collecting some of the data. Right now we're kind of getting our baseline data, so we'll be able to do some comparisons of that project for ECDOT. And then also just a couple of quick updates on some of our routes. Our Route 76, which is the 76 flyer from the circular route from the SRQ to some locations in downtown, that we were directed by our board to discontinue that. So that service will be ending on April 24th, as well as extension of our Siesta Island trolley, the 77. It will stay just on Siesta Key. It will no longer have the extension from the island to downtown. So both of those will be ending on the.
The Sarasota School District, I don't believe we have any updates. I just got thrown in this an hour before, so I wasn't given any notes. I think the only one thing I was gonna bring up, I'm not sure if Amy shared it last time. We're still scheduled to open our high school over the summer, Wallen Park High School. And I believe I think it was the city of Northport approved the signal that's going to go in front of the school, but it's supposed to be a temporary signal. I don't know when the permanent structure would be installed, but I think that's the only major thing that's going on with us now. Yeah,
The temporary signal is, and it is operational, and that temporary signal will most likely be a roundabout and not a signal.
okay, yeah, sorry about that. Thank you.
Clark Davis, Manatee County Public Works. Our last day at the 26th Avenue East offices, where some of you may have visited us in before, is this Friday. On Monday, we will be at 9,000 Town Center Parkway. It's the offices behind the Market Street Publix, if you know the area, down in I-75 in University.
So you'll be closer to us.
Be a lot closer, a lot closer to home. And closer to here. So it all works out. But yeah, we're moving offices.
All right, hello, I'm AJ Lachima with Manatee County Area Transit. I have nothing to report. I just started here almost a month ago, so I'm learning my way around and stuff. Happy to be here, so.
Nothing to report.
John Drexler with Sarasota County Planning. Only update is, this coming Monday, we're gonna be at our new office, so we're gonna be moving from 1001 Sarasota Center Boulevard to the 840 Apex Road office, but.
Is it close to I-75?
Yes, yeah, it's like right next to Celery Fields.
Yes, everybody is moving offices except for,
Nothing perfect.
all right.
Actually, we have one thing.
You or me?
Don't worry.
Oh, one thing that we just wanted to bring up, just as a final note is that the MPO is working on the new UPWP. So it's the draft, very high level draft of the new UPWP will be sent to by Friday the 15th. And we're working on closing out this UPWP. Also, the draft will be being sent to DOT by Friday. Again, this is an initial draft. We'll bring more information for the main meeting for you guys to see. Most of the studies that Nina and the team presented will be included in the new UPWP. As we saw in the timeline, they do transcend from one UPWP to the other. And staff is also working on developing the new list of studies that will be incorporated into until the 27, 28 UPWP. So we hope to have more information to you guys. I know this is brief, so if you have any questions, go ahead and ask now. If there's anything that any of the jurisdictions want to see included in the UPWP, let us know. We'll do our best to include it. So yeah. All right. No? Going once, going twice.
Great. Brian, did you have something behind this building?
No, I was just gonna add what David did, same thing, yeah, we'll be reaching out to you all, one's going in March, it's just our numbers. In May, you'll see some of the proposed studies that we're gonna be bringing out, all these that are continuing over year to year, and then obviously new efforts starting in the following year. We're also gonna reach out to each of you and ask if you've got any specific studies that might be of interest. I think that's something that we're gonna look to do here in the next UPWP, is try to target at least one major issue that you all might have that we can help address. Obviously, we've got a pretty exhaustive list that we're working through as we speak, but we're always open to suggestions to improving the process. We'll obviously work closely with Christy in the department, get through that process, but certainly look forward to your feedback and recommendations. So that's all I have.
All right.
Thank you.
And one last thing is, here we are, just taking over the meeting. One last thing is we're hoping that for the next meeting, we'll have the full AV system set up, so look forward to that. We'll have, we just got the final quote from our vendor. Rachel's actually now working on getting the PO cut. We did get concurrence from DOT already, so we're hoping that by the end of April, beginning of May, we'll have the AV system installed. So everything should run smooth.
Great. Let's see, congratulations on the promotions. Best wishes, Alyssa, on your moving to a new position and new endeavor in life. I'm sure most of us will see you some kind of way, at the ITE meetings, future. And yes, everybody's moving offices except for Sarasota County's transportation department will still be the same location and Breeze will still be where they're located. But yeah, the only thing I do have is that April 22nd, there will be a transportation workshop with the Sarasota County Board. With that, let's see, thank you everyone for attending. This meeting is now adjourned. The next TAC meeting will be here on Monday, the 11th, 6 at 10 a.m. Oh, you just one there.